What's up, party people? Welcome back to another episode of Party XP. I'm Jeff, and join me as always is Lakan. Say hi, Lakan.
Yeah. Hi, everyone.
Yeah, we are coming to you from two very different places in the sports pantheon right now. So Lakan just traded away his franchise's one-of-a-kind player for a really good center who got hurt a half into his first game in his tenure with the Mavericks, right?
I hate it. I hate it here.
And my team just beat the dog shit out of a generational team in the Super Bowl. So, yeah, I'm living large right now. It's currently the Thursday after, to give you guys a peek behind the curtain here. And I am bordering on, I'm going from happy to obnoxious, cocky bullshit talking. But I imagine starting next week, I'm going to be bad.
I mean, to be fair, you're the only person in our friend group who is an Eagles fan, so there you go. Enjoy it. Enjoy your win. I kind of got over my depression pit, kind of, until like I hear like what happened again. You know, like what you just did. You spelled it out for me again, and it just made me angry.
I'm so sorry.
I'm trying, man. I'm trying to move. We've got a good team on paper, and as long as everyone can come back eventually, we actually could make a run. But why? Why?
I know. I'm sorry.
Anyway, congratulations, though. Yeah, good for you. Good for you. Good for you and your Eagles.
Yeah, thank you. Nobody's happy for me in our friend group, so I hope you're all fucking miserable listening to this. I hope you're miserable for all time and eternity. My friends from school were very happy for me, so thanks, guys.
I mean, like for me, again, like obviously being a Giants fan, I really don't have a whole lot to root for. I was gonna just root against the Eagles, but I was like, honestly, like if my team's not involved, I kind of just like want the game to be good. You know what I mean? And then you guys just shit stomped the fuck out of the Chiefs, and I was like, well, so much for that dynasty, right? So
yep.
I mean, like, you know, they're not like they're gonna be fucking losing a whole lot, right? Anyway, like theoretically, they could still come back and make another run again next year. But I don't know, whatever. The Giants have been useless. So I have nothing really to watch in football. So yeah, and I think we're still in that pit. We can't even fucking tank correctly. So
yep.
Yeah, as you can tell, I'm very not happy to talk about football right now or basketball. Or you know what? All my sports. Fucking Dallas lost last year. The Yankees lost last year. This is a bullshit.
Well, good news. You do have something coming up that can ease your sports misery, and that is a full slate of awesome video games coming out in 2025. So what I thought we would do today is kind of go through the list of games coming out next year. We touched on it a little bit on our year-end wrap-up episode that you can go back and listen to. And but I thought maybe, you know, we can dive in a little bit. I know we're going to have a lot of games that are on both lists, and I think we can start with one if you would want to start you know, with a certain game here, but maybe we just go through, talk about some games that we're really excited about.
Yeah, I'm down. My blood pressure finally came back down. But yeah, I mean, like I've got a list here, just basically everything that's comes out, at least was announced to come out this year or supposed to come out this year. And I was just going to scroll down along unless you got something specifically you want to point out first.
Right. So I just had a list of the games that I'm most excited for. I don't really have a list. You know, obviously I have the same list up, but I don't really know as far as what everybody else is really excited for. I know what I'm excited for.
That's fair. Let's hear from you first then, because again, I've got a bunch of stuff, but it's hard for me to remember everything. I'm going to pull up my Steam as well and see what I've got currently on my wish list that's supposed to come out this year or is already has come out earlier this year.
So I think we can start with a familiar place, somewhere that, you know, you and I have talked about quite a bit on this show, fighting games. So we have a lot of really great fighting games coming out this year. Starting with, of course, the Capcom Fighting Collection 2. That's all the crossover games, Capcom versus SNK 1 and 2.
Yes.
And a few other games that I don't actually know off the top of my head. But mostly I'm just in it for Capcom versus SNK 2, one of my favorite fighting games of all time. It might be my favorite fighting game of all time. So you're going to get all the Capcom versus SNK games. You're going to get the PSP port of Street Fighter Alpha 3, Street Fighter Alpha 3 Upper. You'll get Capcom Fighting Evolution, which was like an all-stars type of game that featured fighting game characters from all of Capcom's properties. Wasn't really great, but it's just cool to have again. Both Power Stone games, you're going to get Project Justice, but not Rival Schools. I guess they're holding out for a third one. And you're going to get Plasma Sword as well. That's the game Hayato for Marvel vs. Capcom 2 came from. It's a think like a 3D fighting game. It was on the Dreamcast.
Like a Virtual Fighter?
Think more like a
Soul Calibur?
Yeah, kind of like a futuristic Soul Calibur with like with hyper combos and stuff.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
So I think it's cool. Like I've seen some gameplay, but I haven't actually played it myself. It is something that I'm definitely going to check out. Kind of like I did with Red Earth, where I never got a chance to play Red Earth, and then I used the first Fighting Collection to play it. I will use the second one to play Plasma Sword for the first time. So that's exciting.
Yeah, very excited for that collection as well.
Mm-hmm.
We already picked up the previous collection and enjoyed the hell out of that so far. So
Definitely.
Yeah, and just these collections are just good, right? It's a good way to get these games back available to the public. Especially if they've been kind of like locked away for however long on whatever previous console they were actually released on. And like what? Some games got like a re-release on like, PS2, right? Maybe PS3 360 release. And then the rest of them kind of got lost to time basically. So it's good to see these kind of get a nice little bump in popularity again.
Exactly. So like you mentioned, a lot of these games were trapped. So like the Power Stone games were trapped on Dreamcast and PSP. The Capcom versus SNK games, I think CVS2 got a PlayStation Network like re-release as like a retro title, but that was the last time it was available. Street Fighter Alpha 3 Upper was only available on the PSP. Plasma Sword was only available on Dreamcast. Project Justice, I think, was only on, I want to say PS1. I'm going to look at it right now. Project Justice. I think that might have also been a Dreamcast game. I'm not quite sure. It was a Dreamcast game. Okay.
Oh, okay, cool.
So a lot of these were just kind of stuck on the Dreamcast, right? And now they're finally available on modern hardware for the first time. You talk about, we talked about it before in our piracy episode too. A lot of the times it's just game preservation. You want to keep these games around, but there's no way to play games that are trapped on retro consoles. There's no backwards compatibility, right? So if you wanted to play CVS1, you would have to go find a Dreamcast, find the game, and play it. There's no way to just boot this up without, MAME and the ROM, right?
Yeah.
So that's why I do think things like this are really important to make sure that games don't get lost to time. And that is something that like we complain about with, obviously, like the most notable is Nintendo, who like keeps games trapped on old hardware and doesn't bring games into the future.
Yeah.
For this reason, right? Because you want to be able to play these games again and you can't.
Yeah, very annoying. Yeah, exactly that. Good to see some of these games they come back, and also a bunch of these games which I never got to try, or at least like never really fully experienced when I was younger because I wasn't into this type of game. Right, I can kind of like really try to dig in and see why these games were so popular back in the day.
The other cool thing I really like about the collections is that you get to see kind of like if you missed out on seeing like the full arcade cabinets, you can see the cards and like the stuff that was included in the cabinets. And then they also do other things where you can change the settings, you can listen to the music, you can see like the art gallery of like concept art and things like that from these games. I just really love the way Capcom handles these collections, and they've done two so far, right? So they did the first Fighting Collection and they did the Marvel vs. Capcom collection. They've both been stellar. And I'm excited for the second one.
Yeah, absolutely looking forward to it.
Next up, so we have two more fighting games. You have the new Fatal Fury finally coming out this year.
Yes.
City of the Wolves looks really great. Really excited for that. I love Garou, Mark of the Wolves, which was like kind of like the first one in this series. So I am super duper excited for this. It really looks a lot better than like the KOF games have looked over the past couple of years, which is, I think, going to help it. Be, really more well received. I think one of the things that kept people from the King of Fighters games over the past couple of installations, 14 and 15, were that it wasn't pretty. Like they weren't pretty games. KOF 13 was beautiful, but it was just so damn physically demanding.
Okay.
that it was difficult to kind of get into it and play it at even like a medium level because the combos were so intensive.
Got it.
I
Okay.
think they've kind of bridged both gaps with this game. It looks really great. I'm super duper excited. I don't know if you have anything that you're interested in about this, but if not, we
Um,
can just move on to the next fighting game, the last one on the list.
I'm a complete outsider to this game. I know that
Yeah.
you and Zach and his brother are super excited for this. Uh, but you know, again, now that I've finally come around to like the 2D fighting game genre, like I will give it a, I will actually looking forward to actually trying to give it a shot to see what
Mhm.
it is. Again, like why everyone seems to be so hyped for this.
Oh, we do have some release dates finally. So, Capcom Fighting Collection 2 is going to be May 15th.
Mm.
As of right now, Fatal Fury City of the Wolves is going to be April 24th.
Okay, cool. So very soon.
So, very cool. Yep, very cool that we finally have a lot of the games actually that I'm going to be talking about. I didn't realize now have release dates. That's exciting.
Mm. Who's the main character in Fatal Fury then?
So, technically, it's going to be a mix of Terry and Rock Howard. So, Rock Howard is Geese's son. I think in the first game, the typical like he's
He's
out
just
for
like the bad guy,
revenge.
right?
Geese was the main bad guy. The
Okay.
guy in the gi that's like the predictable and he throws you in the counter throw.
Okay, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, it's his son. So I think that was kind of like the story of the first game. It's like he's out for revenge and then he like realizes that Terry's like a cool guy and then he like learns under him or something. I'm not sure. I could
Okay.
be completely off base. I don't actually know the story,
Okay.
but I
Yeah.
think that's what it is.
Yeah. I'm down to like check it out.
The only other fighting game that I know of that's coming out is the new Virtua Fighter. I don't think there's a lot revealed about
Yeah.
that. There is a re-release of Virtua Fighter 5, Virtua Fighter 5 Revo, that's out now that you can play. Updated graphics, updated netcode. A lot of people have been really into it. It is really pretty. And I've seen like Justin Wong play it a little bit, and it is really cool. I am excited for the new one though, because I mean this is I think this is like our third or fourth re-release of Virtua Fighter 5. Like I'm ready to see a new one, but I understand why kind of they've been doing what they've been doing with the game. But it's always good when there's more options available.
Yeah, I was really, really big into Virtual Fighter actually.
Yeah.
Because again, I was a big 3D fighter guy, right? So I played Tekken, Soul Calibur, Virtual Fighter, and I was actually really sad when Virtual Fighter kind of stopped existing, basically.
I know.
And like like I'm super excited for it. I like the little bit of gameplay that they have like shown off looks nuts, and it looks fantastic. So I'm super excited for this one to come out. Well, not even come out, right? This is just announced at this point, right? Like they don't have anything firm for it yet.
Yeah, no, it's announced, but that's it. Like it's just announced.
Yeah, I think there. I heard rumor like this is supposed to be like a possible late 2025 or like probably like mid 2026 release, because they do have some stuff out in engine. I think online a little bit, like very very little. But yeah, like that's a one for me that I'm really really waiting on.
Definitely.
So that's your three that you wanted to focus on right off the bat.
Yeah, I figured we would just start. I figured you wanted the fighting game collection too. I figured we'd just start with fighting games, and then I kind of have them split up. It kind of just worked out that way that we were kind of like looking at some games that are kind of all the same. So that I have another 3-pack here that we can go into here.
Okay. I'm just touching on like my list on my Steam so far, just so I can like look at the ones that I've like clearly I've wishlisted them, so I'm waiting for them to come out, kind of thing. JDM comes out this year. It's a Japanese Drift Master. It's a racing sim. It's a racing drifting sim, and it's you're a driver based in Japan. You drive around the mountains. You know what I mean? Very initial D. There's a small racing track you can kind of practice how to drift on. And it can get very, very detailed in terms of like how you want to modify your car and all sorts of stuff. So, looking forward to that one. That's supposed to come out March of this year, March 26th it says, but it could be early access. I know there's currently a demo out for that already, so I was messing with that before. And then one game that I've been waiting on from PAX that I tried out last year is a game called Starvaders. I think I mentioned it before in the PAX recap episode. But this is the one that's kind of like Space Invaders. They're coming downwards kind of thing. But you use like cards and abilities to stop the enemies from basically advancing. Roguelike deck builder game, turn-based strategy. Cool art, and the music was really, really good. That's supposed to come out in Q2, so got a little bit of time to wait for that one still. And I think that's all I've got for like hard release dates.
Right.
And I guess let me acknowledge one of the games that came out already that I was super waiting for this year, Rift of the Necrodancer. It is a spin-off. Technically, it's not a sequel. It's like a spin-off of the Crypt of the Necrodancer game. Very cool. Music's fantastic. Again, I picked it up already. Getting very, very good reviews. So that came out last week, I think it was. It came out on February 5th. So yeah, very, very recently. And then I know for this one, I know we were both looking forward to, because we thought it was just really cool aesthetically. Mouse comes out later this year.
Yep, agreed.
Still, I don't think there's a hard date yet, because all I have on Steam is 2025, and I believe on the website that I have of the list of all the games, I think they don't have all they said is expected during 2025. So I mean, yeah, Doom game, Steamboat Willie aesthetic, kind of sick, kind of a cool mashup. So looking forward to that one. Yeah, that's really all I've got so far. That was on that was on my list. You know what I mean? On my specific wish list. So everything after this point, I was gonna be basically stuff that's on the website list that you and I are looking at.
Yeah, definitely. I do have a few more that I can bounce to another little 3-pack here. All like anime games. So Pokemon Legends ZA. I loved the first one. We talked about it last time. Absolutely love the first one. Super excited that the sequel is coming out. It's going to focus on the I think this is like the Kalos, the predecessor to Kalos, the Generation 6 region, which is really cool. I really like that game. That was my first game review, was Pokemon X and Y.
Who were the starters in X and Y?
That was the first one on 3DS. That was Fennekin, Froakie, and Chespin. Oh,
okay, cool. Yeah. Again, I am very out of touch with Pokemon, so you have honestly tell me the starters and I can kind of remember where we're at. But if you're saying Gen 6, I had no idea what you were talking about. Okay, no, cool. So this is the sequel to like the Arceus style title, right? The open world kind of like. Okay, cool. Very cool. Yeah. Again, I heard people say that those were good. The Arceus game was pretty solid. Like I know like there were some performance complaints, right? Like every other Pokemon game or any game that came on the Switch essentially at that point. But I heard the gameplay overall was like a nice step away from the same old kind of like formula they've been using for however many years at this point. So
agreed. I thought it was fantastic. I played the crap out of it. I still go back to it and just like poke around and try to find Pokemon once in a while. It is the open world, a little bit more challenging concept definitely paid off for them, I think. So I am super excited to see where they go with a different story. I think a lot of us were kind of looking for more from Zygarde, who was like that third legendary that didn't get like a Pokemon Emerald or, like a Pokemon Black 2 and White 2 or a Pokemon Platinum, right? Mm-hmm. So I think we're all going to be very excited for this, and I have high expectations for sure. Then, kind of released fairly recently and kind of announced, I should say, fairly recently was a new Digimon story game. So I've talked tons about Digimon Story Cyber Sleuth. We're getting a second one called Time Stranger, which is going to be a pretty cool kind of look to it. They didn't really do much of like gameplay. It was kind of just more like a cinematic trailer just to announce the game coming out. But I thought like any time I can get more Digimon games, I'm super excited about it. So I'm looking forward to this as well. And then the Yu-Gi-Oh! Early Days collection. So little one of each, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh, I had this off in another tab. I was like, I want to talk about this. I'm assuming you're going to be excited for it.
Yeah. I think it's cool. I think it's, I probably will have to buy it, unfortunately, just because, like, if you don't, then you're not going to get what you really want, which is, like, Forbidden Memories and Duels of the Roses to get re-released. I have to say, a lot of these games are, like, they have not aged well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, especially I think we've talked about this before.
Yeah, a lot of the early Game Boy games did not age well. So unfortunately, you're going to have to end up buying them if you want to, get them to re-release like the good games,
Mm.
but it is what it is, right? So I'll do what I have to, I guess, right? Just to make sure that we can get, like I said, to get some good games, to get the games that we really want to come back out. But I am excited for it. It is going to be cool to see a lot of these games again and be able to play them. So I am, like I said, I am optimistic. I'm hoping that it does well so that we can finally get what we're really looking for, which is a Forbidden Memories re-release and a Duels of the Roses re-release.
Again, I'm sure I'm excited for you. You have more stuff coming out for you, Yu-Gi-Oh wise. That's good. Again, especially if you're a fan of like a particular franchise and they haven't put out anything recently. Yeah, like again, kind of the hope is like hopefully they show that the demand is there, right? That's all you can hope for at this point. And hope and they kind of take the hint and decide to actually do something with the property.
Right. I think what a lot of people have been worried about is that it's just basically a card game at this point. There hasn't been a new anime in a long time, especially over here in the US. I don't think the newest anime got dubbed, and at the very least the Rush Duel animes haven't been dubbed. I think they just recently announced that they were bringing it over here. The animes at least.
Okay.
So you haven't had, up until recently now, where we're going to get some animated shorts, we haven't had a new anime in a quite a long time. So I think it'll be good to put, at the very least, the anime that a lot of people are familiar with back into the forefront. Look, they're always going to release. We got a new Blue Eyes structure deck yesterday, right?
Yeah.
So like I'm not exactly worried about that, right? Like I'm not worried about Blue Eyes and Red Eyes and Dark Magician getting support. You're going to get that all the time. But what I am worried about is it kind of losing its place where it already has been losing its place because of other decisions that have been made by by Konami, losing kind of its place among like the top card games, especially as Bandai drops a new card game every other week at this point. But you know what? Like I said, I'm excited. I hope it does well. I hope that it I hope it sells well so that they can see, hey, people are interested in this, so maybe we can get the games we actually want to see.
Yeah. Hopefully that's the case. On my end, since I really don't track mine all that well because I'm a slob. I was gonna scroll through again. I give you the link to the same website that I'm looking at, which is pretty good. It covers a lot of the games, at least anyway that I can think of anyway for this year. And I guess we could just kind of skip ahead to February. I think the only thing I'm looking forward to is Like a Dragon Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii. So this is a spin-off game where you're playing as Majima again, and for some reason he is a pirate in modern day Hawaii. And that's all I need to know. Majima's funny as shit, and I need to catch up so I can, I'm currently finishing Yakuza 1 right now. Like I'm like maybe another, I don't even know, maybe like another hour and a half out from finishing it. So I'm like, good, I can get onto Yakuza 2 and keep moving forward basically at this point. And then eventually I'll catch up so I can play these, these weird side titles basically. And then right after Yu-Gi-Oh! Early Days Collection, Monster Hunter Wilds should come out at the end of February. I like Monster Hunter, but it's hard to play by yourself. You know what I mean? Like it's way more fun. It is a completely different game when you're playing with a group or a crew. And the last one of these that I played was basically by myself, which made me not enjoy the game as much. And I have a lot of people who are looking forward to this one. So hopefully, if they follow through, I will pick this up as well and play this game once again. Because again, I enjoyed my time with it. It's just that it was a very, very different game playing it solo.
Definitely. The other thing too that always kind of like blew my mind about Monster Hunter is like you're playing this game where you're fighting these giant monsters and you have to play it on like a PSP screen.
Yeah.
So I am relieved that this one at the very least is going to be on like PC. Because even I played the game on the Switch and it's like it's so hard to see what the hell you're doing.
Yeah, so like obviously there's gonna be a little bit of resolution issues with the Switch. I mean, it looked fine. Honestly, it was pretty popular just because again it was on the Switch, which was like again like the second most best selling console of all time.
Oh no, yeah, like I get it, but like
But like
it's
playing it
just
on the
like
go, yeah, no, absolutely, I get it. And then like what was the Monster Hunter World obviously came out on like on was it PS4 and PC.
yep.
So there was that as well. I know people were pretty excited for that one, and I know some people liked it, some people didn't, and it was like kind of weird because it was like, I was in the middle part of that group where I was like, well, I'm not gonna hop into it if the group feels iffy on it. You know what I mean? It's like
Hmm.
so I was like, I'll just wait off on it then, even though I heard it was actually pretty solid. A lot of stuff is like crossplay now too. Like I think this one again I haven't I didn't confirm this one, but I heard this was supposed to be crossplay, which is good for yeah, simultaneous release on all platforms. PC, PS5, Xbox Series X and S.
Hmm.
Like that's like the one last final thing, right? At this point, is like I just want them to be cross-platform so I can play with my friends and not have to worry about, oh, do I have to buy it on the console? If I have to buy it on the console, I have to buy fucking online
Exactly.
play, you know what I mean, to get onto it or whatever, to buy pay for service or whatever. So yeah, again, if the reception is good for my friend group and it is actually fully crossplay, I'm back in finally to Monster Hunter Wilds.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. Anything else for February that you're looking at?
No, so I don't actually have
Oh,
it by
I sent
month.
you the link.
Let's see if there's anything in February that I had. No, so.
Yeah, nothing really for you here except for the Yu-Gi-Oh game, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Right. Yeah, no. And I don't have anything in March either.
I'm just curious to see how Assassin's Creed Shadows plays out because there is
Yep.
so much controversy around this game right now. This is kind of like a do or die moment for Ubisoft.
Uh-huh.
And I'm currently in the camp of just go play Ghost of Tsushima.
Yeah.
But I know there are
exactly.
some diehard Assassin's Creed fans here. I'm just curious. I want it to crash and burn so that Ubisoft can finally just get out of the damn picture. I'm so tired of them. Aside from Siege, basically, I have not really enjoyed anything from them recently. I guess technically Division 2,
Right.
but that was just because I need something to grind in. But yeah, I like Assassin's Creed games. I just have had no interest in playing them. Again, Ghost of Tsushima it really scratched that itch for me. So I just want to see how it plays out at this point. I think first Berserker Khazan. I think we were talking about before.
Yeah, that's on my list.
Okay,
And
that's
I
in March.
am
Yeah, it's skipping ahead into
thrilled.
March at this point. Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, that looks cool. I'm waiting for it.
Yeah, I have been playing the demo for First Berserker,
Mm.
and it is really awesome. It basically, for me at least, it helped me get past what's been like the big sticking point for those Souls games for me. Like the drab aesthetic. This is like a more colorful anime-esque style, right?
Okay.
So it's just been more engaging to me, and it's been a lot of fun. Like I enjoy games with a challenge, and it's definitely challenging to say the least. Especially like this last boss part, it has been tough. So it has been fun to like kind of enjoy something like that once more again, like a really difficult like a high pressure game. So I'm definitely looking forward to it. I'm super excited.
Word. Yeah, yeah. Again, aesthetically wise, it does look very cool. I know I like the Souls aesthetic. Obviously, very inspired by like Berserk, right? But no, I get it. This one's a little more vibrant, a little more colorful, right? Versus the everything kind of
Mhm.
being kind of doom gray or doom beige, basically. I get that.
Brown, gray,
Yeah.
black.
I mean, I fucked with Sekiro a lot, so there's that though.
Hmm.
But yeah, okay, but yeah, absolutely looking for this one too. I'm curious to see how this one plays out. Yeah,
Right.
see, the demo's already available. And they have what is it? Pre-order is already up on Steam.
Definitely.
Yeah, so there you go. So there's that. After March, it just goes into Q1, right on the page.
Right.
So let's see anything here that we're really interested in here.
I have 3 titles
Okay.
that are still on my list. Let's see if they are here. Q1, let's see that Q1 list. I don't have anything. My next is we talked about Fatal Fury already in April. My next one's in May.
Oh, this game. Yeah, Yasha Legends of the Demon Blade looks like a.
Yeah.
It's just like an action hack and slash roguelike. So very reminiscent of like Hades, basically.
Cool.
Yeah. I think I saw this one before, but I never like
Yeah.
dug too far deep
Yeah, this
into
is
it.
cool.
But anything Japanese inspired, Japanese mythology and stuff like that, I'm always kind of into. I'm a weeb. So yeah, I've just re-added back to my wish list. So that comes out in April as well too. Yeah, Yeah, I think that's really about it for me on April. Let's see, May. Not a lot.
So May, obviously the big one for me is Doom.
Yeah, Doom Dark Ages. I'm so excited for this.
Yeah, it's gonna rip ass, dude. It's gonna be so cool.
Yeah, I'm very excited.
I can't wait.
I'm just glad that the story is just continuing, just getting more absurd as it goes. I'm enjoying it so far. Okay, June. Let's see here. Nothing really here.
You're not into Inazuma 11? No soccer manga for you?
No. I mean, I know obviously got very popular because of, was it the Japanese soccer team's run during the Olympics? Was that what it was?
Yeah.
Isn't there another soccer anime that is more popular?
I don't know.
Pretty sure there's another one. But yeah, again, like not a big football guy, so there's that too. But I know people play the Inazuma games, but I'm not a big soccer guy, so not for me. Okay, let's go for the general Q2 then. What are we looking at here? Arc 2, that's pretty big. Arc was obviously very big, right, with the dinosaur survival game, crafting game.
Yes.
Finally getting the sequel, and I've seen a little bit of it. It looks very interesting. My only issue is like I just don't have the time to play like survival games anymore. You know what I mean?
I know. I agree.
I would love to. House of the Dead 2 remake. What console is this coming out?
I saw that, and I'm very excited for it. I didn't know that was a thing.
What is this coming on? Is it just PC?
I imagine.
Okay. Oh, Switch, PC, Xbox, and PlayStation.
Yeah.
Solid. Are there light guns? Or do you have to do this in VR now?
It's either VR or it's just mouse and keyboard, or I don't know. I guess maybe because it's a remake, they're just going to let you use the joystick. I don't know.
Maybe. That does remind me then. I think this is not a plug here, but this is one of the things I'm very interested in. I'm considering pulling the trigger on this year. Have you ever heard of the Sinden light gun?
No, I have not.
Okay. So the Sinden light gun is a light gun that was released by Sinden Technology in 2020 for the PC. And it is compatible with LCD monitors and TVs, like current like LCDs and OLED TVs, without additional hardware. You know how like light guns back, but like the GunCon, right? For the GunCon 2, and then the GunCon 3 required like a little IR sensor, right? For Time Crisis like 4, whatever the hell it was. But the previous ones you could only play on a CRT, right? Because of the way that light gun technology works, right? We had to move from playing on CRTs to LCD screens and OLEDs, and then the only way that would work was using IR sensors on the Wii, the Wii U, and so forth, right? The Sinden light gun works by basically taking an image and processing it, and treating the gun, essentially the sensor on the gun, as like a mouse, and then that's how it registers inputs. Basically, it does a bunch of like complex math on the back end, and basically we can play modern light gun games on LCD screen. Let's see. Yeah, that's really, again, not a whole lot in Q2. I mean, the list is long, but it's just like I feel like nothing really clicking from my end anyway. Q3, I guess. Let's skip on over to the next one.
Yeah, I only have a couple more games that I'm super interested in.
Ninja Gaiden Ragebound.
Yeah, the new Ninja Gaiden is going to be sick.
Big one here. Big one for me here. Deep Rock Galactic Rogue Core.
Oh yeah.
So Deep Rock Galactic, we had an episode on it. It was very fun. It's 4 dwarf bros being bros and mining rock and stone. And also Deep Rock Galactic has a like Vampire Survivors roguelike game, right? Like, you know, the 1-stick shooter type of thing. This is straight up more Deep Rock Galactic, but now it's a procedurally generated roguelike, which is sick because like just more straightforward space dwarf gameplay. Oh, I'm so excited for this one. This looks actually so good. And from what I saw, it is squad based. You can play up to 4 people as well too. So
cool.
So okay. If you're down to get back down to the mines with me, you can join up with me over here. Let's see. Damn, nothing at all. That's besides those two. That's basically it for Q3. At least, I guess the Max Payne 1 and 2 remake, I guess, is kind of cool. So Ninja Gaiden Ragebound is the one that comes out in Q3, right? That's the smaller Ninja Gaiden title, right?
That's the
side scroller,
the old school side scroller 2.5D kind of.
And then Ninja Gaiden 4 comes out.
Ninja Gaiden 4 is like the ones from the Xbox.
Yeah.
the 3D
3D
hack
hack
and
slash
slash
games,
types.
yeah.
They both look sick.
They
though.
both look
like they
very
are
good.
both so cool.
And Ninja Gaiden 4 is supposed to come out Q4 this year.
Yep.
So that's that's the big title, I guess, that I'm looking forward to in Q4. At least that it has a suspected release date. And I just find it funny again because we see Grand Theft Auto 6 on the list, and I'm just like, you might as well just knock that off right now. just get that out of here.
I will say there is a game that is now confirmed for Q3 that's not on our list. Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater is coming out August 28th.
That did get a confirmed release date.
Yep, very excited for that. Super duper excited.
Yeah, actually, now I just noticed that the list goes very, very far down, unexpected during 2025. So probably a couple of these actually got updated, and we're not updated on the list. Basically, Metal Gear Solid 3 is fun. I love Metal Gear Solid 3. It is the one that I tell people to get into first if they want to get into the Metal Gear games, just because canonically it's the first game in the series, or at least in the main series anyway, main title games.
Right.
Yeah, no, good game. I'm looking forward to it. I'm glad that they got, I think basically all of the cast basically come back for it, right? So, looking forward to seeing that one properly updated. Okay, now I'm scrolling into the expected durings. So the ones with basically like no release date confirmed whatsoever kind of thing.
Yeah.
Metroid Prime 4, big deal for me. My prediction that comes out day and date with the Switch 2. That's my prediction.
Really?
Yeah, I think so.
That's cool.
I know people say like big title has to come with it, right? And I know Metroid's a bit more of a niche title in terms of like Nintendo's mascot characters, but I think this game has been waited on for so long. You know what I mean? So that's why I think that it can actually roll with the hype and actually kind of come out with the Switch 2.
Well, here's some news. Apparently, allegedly, there might be a new Smash game coming out.
Oh, okay.
So that could be your killer app.
You're telling me like developed in secret this entire time?
Yeah. Let's see. A friend of mine posted it. Let's take a look at this thing here.
Because I was expecting Mario Kart like they always do.
Yeah, well, they've already told you Mario Kart.
Yeah, we've already seen Mario Kart. I assumed that was going to be like the big general public game, right? And versus the big title, but from a smaller audience, essentially.
Right. So okay, so maybe it's not as big of a deal. What they're going on here, it's comicbook.com here, says that Masahiro Sakurai specifically posted "wow" while quote tweeting a post from Nintendo about the upcoming Nintendo Switch 2 Direct going down on April 2nd, 2025. And that's it. So people are just using that as speculation that there's going to be a Smash game.
Could be a Kirby game.
It could be a Kirby game.
We only got the one Kirby game last gen, right?
Yeah.
Main title Kirby game, right? Because I'm not going to count like the Kirby Cake racing game. Could be Kirby game. Yeah, I mean, it'd be cool if another Smash came out, but I feel like, I mean, it could be used as like announcement time, you know what I mean? To just be building up hype, I guess. So, but yeah, like my called shot was a Metroid Prime would be the release title game along with Mario Kart.
Yeah, I think it's going to be Mario Kart, and I think that's a good point that you made. I think it's going to be Metroid. I think Metroid could be the one game that kind of brings like the
first party,
the older single player demographic to the game.
Yeah, like how Breath of the Wild was basically for the
exactly
for the first Switch.
Yep.
Okay. I'll scroll down a little bit here. Death Stranding 2 comes out this year. Forgot about that. I need to get on Death Stranding 1. I heard the game is like kind of artsy, and I'm dumb, so I don't know if I'm gonna get it. But I also saw like weird baby and giant shadow monsters, so I'm like, that's probably enough for me to get through it.
And Norman Reedus.
Yeah, so I'll probably be down to just play and get through it, kind of thing. Stellar Blade comes out for the PC. I already have it on PS5, but good that it gets out on PC as well too.
I don't have a way to play it. I thought so when I originally saw the state of play trailer for Digimon, I thought it was only going to be on PS5, and I'm like, no, I don't want to have to buy a console. No.
Yeah, no, I get you.
But luckily enough, we did not have to do that.
Good,
so
that's good.
It is coming out on PC. I'm very excited.
Exciting.
Let me see if it's on Steam right now.
See if it's on like at least wishlist.
About to wishlist it.
Let's see, KOTOR remake, which is cool. Perfect Dark. Yes, I'm very excited for that one. I've really liked Perfect Dark even as a kid. Like Perfect Dark was better than GoldenEye, and I'll stand by that fact. not opinion, fact. But yeah, Perfect Dark is, this is one of those games again that was kind of in development hell forever, right? I don't even like. I was surprised they even like announced anything or even said that it's supposed to come out still this year.
Oh, this looks cool. Gestalt, Steam and Cinder.
Yes,
it's like a steampunk Metroidvania.
Yeah,
that looks pretty cool.
Yeah, I think we talked about it before during one of the upcoming games. I think it was.
Yeah, we probably.
Did. That's what it was. The Triple I Initiative episode. That's what it was. Where I covered it, and we talked about it a little bit during the next episode after. Ghost of Yote comes out this year as well too. So again, I need to finish Ghost of Tsushima soon.
Yeah, I should start playing that. I have to beat this boss in the First Berserker first, and then I can probably play those. I'll probably have to play a lot of these Metroidvania, or not Metroidvania, all these Souls-like games.
Yeah,
man, it's gonna be a rough go here.
Yeah, like Ghost of Tsushima is kind of like not like it's like, again, it feels like what Assassin's Creed could have been. You know what I mean? Like in my mind, where you do the group combat and the way you can play stealthily or just call everybody out like a true samurai and fight them, 1-to-1 head-on combat the entire time. I think Ghost of Yote, again, I should just finish Ghost of Tsushima soon, but Ghost of Yote is going to be coming out this year. I should probably get on it. Let's see. Little Nightmares 3, that's cool. Again, I know people like that series. I just never played them, but I know people are really excited for that one. After Ghost of Yote and Little Nightmares, I've got two here that I genuinely want your opinion on.
Okay.
The new Marvel game, 1943, Rise of Hydra. Does that look interesting to you?
Hold on. What?
That's the one where you play as OG Steve Rogers, like, World War II Steve Rogers, and Azuri, the Black Panther, the grandfather, I believe, of the one we got in the movies, essentially.
What?
Yeah.
Hold on. I didn't know this was a thing.
Yeah.
Wait. All right. Hang on. We're gonna watch.
Amy Hennig is in charge of this.
Okay. This is. Whoa.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
I didn't know this was a thing.
So I remember hearing about this first when Amy Hennig was announced that she was going to be involved with it, because Amy Hennig was the person who was in charge of like the Uncharted series and Jak and Daxter. So I was super stoked when she came over. And I was like, whatever she does usually ends up being pretty fucking good. So I was like, I'm just gonna like kind of like let it roll. I'll like check it out when trailers come out, and then once I saw, I was like, I'm kind of in. Like I'm basically all in on this one.
Yeah, this looks pretty sick.
Yeah.
I will say that is it a different team than the one that did like the Avengers game and all that?
Yeah, this is Skydance New Media. So these guys this is their first game basically. Yeah, Skydance. They're under like Paramount.
Okay. No, this is sick. I had no idea this was even a game.
Yeah.
So this is pretty cool.
Yeah, Skydance New Media. There we go. So
yeah. Okay.
I'm pretty stoked for this one. This one actually looks pretty cool. A single player game, at least that's what they announced it to be. But I'm like, it would have been cool. At least at the very least to have like, kind of two people playing this one does a beat 'em up kind of thing. Some like Marvel Ultimate Alliance kind of vibes, you know what I mean? And then the next one after that is Borderlands 4.
No.
Nothing. Okay, because I like the Borderlands 1 and 2. 3 kind of fell off for me, but I've kind of missed like the looter shooter kind of grind.
What was the one that I played? So I got one for free. I think I played this one. I think I played the pre-sequel.
That one's solid.
I got it for free on PlayStation Plus, right? Whichever one they gave us for free is the one I played.
PlayStation Plus, it came out. I remember I got that. Then I also got it for free on like Epic Game Store as well.
And it was just like, it's all right. Like, it's okay. Like, I don't know, man. It wasn't for me. It felt like it was one of those games. Like it didn't feel sincere in trying to be like over the top and zany and all that. I don't know, man. I didn't dig it.
Really, I like the pre-sequel a lot.
So I know it's going to make a lot of people happy, and I'm excited. Obviously, of course, I want people to be happy, but like, I don't know.
Yeah, I was kind of over Gearbox for a little while, because I heard they're a bunch of assholes. Kind of like how everything kind of is. They're like every other company got outed a while ago, right? Of like just them being a bunch of shitbags, basically. So I was like, I was kind of over him for a bit, and I was again kind of been missing that kind of a first person grind game, especially because Destiny 2 has kind of wound down at this point. Again, I kind of miss the aesthetic of it and like the zaniness of that game. So okay, so no Borderlands for you then. Let's see here, scrolling down a little bit more. Jurassic Park Survival for you? Yes, no, I know you like dinosaurs.
I'll check it out. I'll see what it's all about. I don't know. It wasn't on my list, but I'll check it out.
Okay. Gears of War E-Day.
Cool.
Yeah. Okay. That's about it.
I should probably catch up on the games that I missed, but
yeah.
I always love Gears of War. I will always love Gears of War. So
Gabe and I are like super looking forward to this, just to see, you know, young Marcus, young Dom, young everybody, basically. You know what I mean? Like nothing against the newer games. It's just that, like, obviously we grew up with the OG cast kind of thing. You know what I mean? So we kind of want to see them again.
Right. Exactly.
And also E-Day is like the big turning point in the Gears of War universe. You know what I mean? Like that's the day when shit went down. So I'm kind of curious to see how that story plays out, aside from just reading it in the comics and the books. A little more scrolling. I see Pokemon Legends again. So again, you know, you're excited for that one. Good for you.
Definitely.
The Gex trilogy. Are you excited for that one?
Yeah, definitely. I want to hear more about 90s celebrities
just
in humorous quips.
I mean, I think Gex trilogy is kind of, you know.
Hey man, the kids deserve Gex.
Yeah, I mean, what? They only got 3 games, right? Did he get a 4th game?
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know how many Gex games there are.
But yeah, again, like
it feels like he's around forever.
He just never went away.
Yeah, so we only have 3 Gex games, and we haven't had one since 1999.
There you go.
My next one is Turok Origins. Yeah, I was just gonna say that's gonna be that's on my list.
I think the only Turok game that I ever played was the one that was on N64. I think that was it.
Yeah, well, I mean, they most of the games were on N64.
Oh, they were. Okay, I remember playing the one that was a black cartridge, and I was like, that was it. That was the only one that I ever.
That's
played.
Probably the second one.
Okay,
second one or the third one.
Cool. So I know I really didn't have any attachment to this game. What's so big about the Turok series?
I don't know, man. It's just shooting dinosaurs with cool ass guns. It was the game I brought home with the N64 along with Mario 64. So like for me, Turok 1 is really like has a place in my heart here because, like I said, I brought it home with the N64.
Okay,
but I played the first 2. I played there was a game called Rage Wars, which was like a multiplayer only Turok game. That was pretty cool. And then I played the one on PS2, but that was about it. I should probably start playing a few more of these other games here.
Okay.
It is on the Switch. I own it on the Switch. Not that helps you, but
I think it's also like on the family plan, right? I think it is on the Nintendo Switch Online. I think I'll check it out. I'll give it a look.
That is a good point. I don't know if they would do that, but they might. Okay, I don't know, cool.
Man. So there's that, and then I scroll down a little more. Not a whole lot here that I recognize anyway.
Yeah, I mean that's really all that.
Showa American Story. I'm very excited. I'm very curious about this game.
Okay.
It's weird. It's like it's a weird combination of like America, if America was in the Showa era, basically like the 1980s Japan. But you walk around America basically as if it was styled after 1980s Japan. It's just really interesting to look at, and then it looks insane. Like look at some of the action of it. It looks really absurd, basically. Like you dive around with and you shoot guns at like giant robots and crowds of weird people. Yeah, like some like hack and slashy kind of stuff going on.
Right. Okay, that's cool. Then.
Yeah. So there's that one. And then the last game that I see on here that I recognize, and I do remember being interested in this one, Unrecord. Do you remember the trailer for this that came out like a year ago?
No.
This is the first-person shooter that looks like body cam footage. That like everyone went crazy for because they couldn't tell if it was a real game or not.
Oh, this is really cool.
Yeah. So there was like an Unreal Engine like asset flip game that basically knocked off Unrecord. But like it is currently on like Steam, and I know it's like kind of popular for people because it's just like I guess it's fun for them to mess around with. But this is supposed to be kind of like a tactical, realistic first-person shooter, kind of like Ready or Not or like Firewatch.
Dude, this looks like a real footage. This is insane.
Yeah,
holy shit,
pretty sick.
This is absolutely insane, dude.
So I remember when this came out, people thought it actually was like body cam footage. And you know, of course, if you're like looking for it, you can kind of tell, right? If
go on.
Okay.
I just discovered something that is really, really making me happy.
But yeah, like so. Again, I play like Ready or Not, which is like a tactical co-op shooter, right? again, it's not meant to be, and they, even though like Drama, the dev team behind this game, they did announce it's not meant to be a simulation game. You know, even though realism's like a part, like an integral part of the game, it's not meant to be a simulation. It's more of just like a, you know, you're playing as a tactical police officer, just and you're playing the game through the body cam itself. So, it's more of like a detective novel or a thriller, according to the dev team.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I have one more. Mm-hmm. It's on the bottom of this list. It's called Toxic Crusaders.
Yes.
So it basically looks just like Shredder's Revenge, the TMNT beat 'em up, but it's all like the Traumaville characters, like the Toxic Avenger and like Major Disaster and all of them.
Yeah.
This makes me so happy that this exists.
So I got to try this a little bit at PAX last year.
Really?
They had a whole booth. They had a whole booth. Was it last year or 2 years ago? I forgot what it was. But I definitely played it last year. I remember that. I don't know if it's at the main booth or not. But it was at the booth where I met Bob Wolf from Wolf Den and Wood from Beat 'em Ups, two YouTubers who primarily focus on Nintendo Switch stuff. Yeah, like I met them last year. Was it last year? Or was it 2 years ago? I think it was 2 years ago. They had it at this booth, and then you also got, you know, if you waited in line, you get to try the demo out. So the demo is really solid, very fun beat 'em up, you know, game. Again, I think it's from the same team that does a lot of like the current beat 'em up games now.
I don't know. So from what I can gather, it is a different developer. I don't know, but either way, it looks cool. So I'm very excited for it.
Let me pull this up real quick. I have a thing here. Yeah, late. Oh, this was supposed to launch in 2023 apparently. Wait, is it not already out?
No, there's a demo.
You're on Steam right now?
Yeah.
Okay. So I guess this got held back a little bit then. Yeah, so it's supposed to come out on everything. So PS5, Xbox Series, PS4, Xbox One, Switch, PC. And it's supposed to come out for $25. Let's see. Yeah, again, it doesn't have a team listed, developer here listed, but
it says Retroware. Retroware made Iron Meat, Prison City, the Angry Video Game Nerd Games.
Okay.
Transylvania Adventure of Simon Quest, a parody Castlevania game. That looks pretty cool. But yeah, that's it.
Okay, cool. Yeah, because I remember when I played it, yeah, it just felt like the OG TMNT side scroller game. So that was the beat 'em up game. So, yeah, no, it was tight when I played it. So, again, I'm surprised. I'm just surprised. I thought it was already. I thought it already came out. That's why I'm so confused by it.
Right.
Okay, cool. So yeah, late this year supposedly.
Yep, something else to just add to the list here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Give somebody some shout outs.
We never really dug through everything that's supposed to come out this year because we usually kind of are on our own schedule. You know what I mean? Right. But no, there's a lot of stuff here that is coming out that I'm actually looking forward to, like a surprising amount. Because I know like we tend to be kind of doomery in the beginning of the year, like, oh, this is supposed to be kind of a slow year or whatever. You know what I mean? We're like, we're not sure what's coming out.
And then shit comes out that's awesome, and we're like, oh, right.
Yeah, good games do come out still, kind of thing. Like again, not every game is gonna be for us anyway, right? That's kind of like the point.
Exactly.
But no, there's a decent amount here that I feel like you and me are ready to are actually genuinely waiting for.
Agreed. No, there's quite a bit on this list. I mean, I have just put it together. I have 3, 6, 9, 11. You know, basically like 15 games that I'm looking forward to. So we're in a good spot, I think.
Yeah, and some big titles along with it too. So, yeah. I mean, another thing to do with this year, I know, like, you probably, if you listen to any other gaming podcast, you probably heard it already. But like, I know a lot of big studios are kind of are possibly holding off on releasing big titles this year because they're getting scared of getting drowned out by Grand Theft Auto 6 if it supposedly is going to drop this year. So, you know, like I understand why some people think that maybe not as much is coming out as expected. Luckily, I think for me, for the most part, a lot of the games that I'm like looking forward to are not in the same camp, you know what I mean, of that kind of game, of like a Grand Theft Auto 6. So they're like, yeah, we're just going to drop it anyway. It doesn't matter. Like whoever wants to come play our game, they're going to come play our game regardless. So yeah, I'm not super worried, but I've definitely got a lot of things that I'm really looking forward to this year.
Yeah. I think that's the big thing. That was the thing that we were going to talk about. Does GTA 6 actually come out this year?
I joked about it earlier. I think take it off the list. I don't think it's coming out this year.
Yeah. Does Hollow Knight Silksong come out this year?
Why'd you have to remind me? God damn. Hollow Knight Silksong is kind of like it's not coming out this year. I'm gonna be like completely realistic. I don't think it comes out this year.
Okay. I'm sorry.
I know.
I don't have a dog in the race, so I don't really like not care, but like I don't.
The one thing that gave me a little bit of hope is that, like, I remember, I think it was like earlier this year, I think like Xbox accidentally put up like a listing for it on their store, or like Microsoft did.
Right.
So it's like, oh, possibility. It could be done. They could be ready to put it out, but they just, for some reason, are just holding off for some reason. You know what I mean? But I don't think it comes out this year again. Like, I think, unfortunately, I'm just gonna be stuck waiting another year for it.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I think. Do I make a hard call on it? Yeah, hard call. No, we're not making it better or anything. I'm just making a hard call. Silksong, GTA, both don't come out this year.
Okay. I'm gonna say we get GTA, but I'm gonna say we're not gonna get Silksong.
Okay.
But I think GTA comes out like
late.
GTA is going to come out like the day, but it's going to come out on like Thanksgiving.
Oh, like, well, yeah, because they said Q4, right? I think that's what they said initially listed for it.
I think they're trying to give themselves as much time as possible, but like I think it's going to come out or it's going to come out on like Christmas Eve.
Right on the edge. Wow.
It's going to come out on like Christmas Eve, and everybody's going to have to like scramble for this fucking game or something. It's going to do something crazy.
It's going to take down servers, bro. Like everyone's going to be trying to digital download that game to that day, bro.
Yeah. Like I said, I think it's going to do something crazy. Like it's going to come out on Black Friday, or it's going to come out like right before Christmas, just to make sure that it gets that holiday
bump,
the holiday
rush.
bucks.
Yeah.
They will do whatever they can in their being to get this out before Christmas comes out.
I do feel bad for one game that kind of is in the same category, the Mafia game that's supposed to come out this year. Because this one is what is it? Mafia: The Old Country. You go back to Sicily, right? For this one, I think. And apparently, they got a full Italian or Sicilian voice dub for this one. You have the option to play in full Sicilian. I'm surprised like Mafia even decided we're gonna commit to putting out a game this year. With the heavy looming threat of GTA just coming around to take their lunch money.
It's funny. Yeah. No. So that's all I've got, man. I don't know what else is coming out. I'm sure we can maybe revisit this later in the year to see what actually came out and what didn't. But I am excited for a lot of stuff coming out this year, even if I would say a few of them are just re-releases of old games.
Yeah.
There are a lot of new games coming out that are pretty cool. But, if you get access to an old game again, is it still an old game? Or is it just something new again? Once more, I don't know.
New audience, refresh the game. You know what I mean? That's kind of what it is. So,
again,
we don't want these games to go away anyway. So why not, right?
Right.
So good. No, I'm again excited for what's coming out this year, and we'll talk. I'm sure we'll talk about it in our year-end wrap-up of what we ended up getting surprised with this year. So.
Yep. Definitely. Sounds like a plan. Well, if you made it this far, thanks so much for listening. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, share us. Follow us online, and we will hopefully have a fun 2025 this year, right?
Yeah. I mean, I've gotten past the point of like No, I still want Nico to get his ass whooped, but like, I'm past the point of like depression. You know what I mean? Like I'm past this. I'm past like I'm out of the pit. That's the important part.